Welcome back, guys. Today's video is going to be about a month long, give or take. I've been wanting to kind of just shed just like a few pounds of fat just so, abs can be a little bit more visible, things like that. I've been wanting to do that for a while. I just kept putting it off because I love food and I love to eat. But today, I do have a trip coming to Hawaii, so we're going to try to see if we can use this time to kind of drop those few pounds that we're looking for, to just get an overall kind of better look and physique. We're going to follow a super simple plan. That way, if anyone wants to do the same thing, it's super easy to follow and you can do it too. It's going to be following Jordan Syatt's kind of, if you've seen him and seen his videos, his way of kind of just basically going into a calorie deficit, and that's it. And the way they formulate that is just by taking your goal body weight, times it by 12, and then that's the amount of calories that you want to eat. So for me, I'm about 167, 168 right now. We're gonna try to get down to 160 while maintaining as much of our muscle as we can. So for me, 160 times 12 is gonna equal 1,920 calories. If I was doing this ideally, I would probably try to get, or he at least suggests 1 gram of protein for every of that goal body weight number. So it'd be 160 grams of protein. For this video, I want to make it as simple as possible, just showing that you can eat whatever you want as long as it falls into those calorie restrictions and still lose weight. For me personally, I'm going to try to eat just healthier as I normally do. But if it's not to say if I want a piece of pizza, I'm probably going to eat that piece of pizza. I'm just going to maybe eat less than I normally would, or maybe decrease my calories throughout the day. So when I get to dinner and have that pizza, I can eat more of what I actually want. So we're gonna kind of go with that sort of setup, just so I feel like it's the easiest way that you guys could do it too. It's super simple, super flexible. So we just want to kind of see if it works and how well it works. We'll be taking some pictures along the way. I'll be weighing in every morning around the same time. Just basically wake up, go to the bathroom, weigh myself. We're not looking for every day it getting shorter. We're just looking for a nice trend line. So some days it might go up, some days it might go down. That's perfectly fine. We're just kind of looking for a nice trend going down towards that goal body weight, and that's the key, right? Just because it goes up one day doesn't mean that, oh, our diet is ruined. So that's what we're just looking for, a nice trend line. For me, I'm just gonna be using my FitnessPal to track my calories. I may include some videos of maybe on one day what I'm kind of eating throughout that day and kind of how those calories stack up, just to kind of show you how that's working out for me. But other than that, hopefully we can have some good progress and show you guys kind of how it looks from now to how it looks then. But yeah, that's overall what we're gonna be doing. So we'll kind of take a look at what we're starting out with, take a look at the starting weight. My scale does give % body fat, but those scales aren't super accurate, so I'm not gonna be tracking that specifically, but we will be tracking our weight. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. Okay, so this is just me relaxed. And then so I'm gonna do like one kind of picture or video of me just kind of relaxed, and then one flex, so we can kind of see the difference in the videos there. But here we are here, and then we can flex. And that's where we're starting out. So let's go see what the weight is, and we'll get going from here. Okay. Oh, perfect. Looks like we're 168 on the dot. It's saying about 18.3% body fat. Like I said, not super accurate, but we will take a look at it as we go. As far as my fitness regimen goes, while I'm in this calorie restriction, I'm basically just doing the same thing I have been. So going to the gym regularly, rock climbing regularly, and doing cardio about 1 to 2 times a week or so. And I'm still strength training and just everything I would normally do. So I'm not really changing anything. The only thing that I'm changing throughout this time is that I'm actually counting my calories and limiting them as far as the weight that I'm trying to hit. So that's really the only thing that I'm changing at this time. So that's kind of my plan on how I'm doing things right now. Day 7, we'll see what we're at. So 164.6. It's definitely less than it was before.
perspective, but from a perspective of just losing weight, you can eat whatever you want as long as it fits your calories that you're trying to hit. So for example, yesterday I had some friends coming to town and I knew we were gonna eat a bunch of food at night, so I just lowered my calories throughout the day and I was able to eat whatever I wanted in the afternoon. Woke up this morning, my weight had still slowly gone down, still going down with the trend line. So you can eat whatever you want. It's not like you have to restrict yourself or never eat foods that you actually want to eat. So it can be very simple if just followed and if counted your calories correctly, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But I just want to let you guys know you can eat throughout this process. I've eaten things that aren't healthy, like fast food, every once in a while. So you can eat things like that, and it's not necessarily going to affect your ability to lose weight. I just weighed myself, and you guys got to see that. So I just wanted to show you what a day of eating looks like. This is going to be more of a healthy day, and then I'll weigh myself tomorrow, and then I'll show you kind of what eating not so healthy but still within the calories can do, and then I'll show you the weight the next day, just so you can see that as long as you stay in your calories, you're going to be on that track to losing weight. So today for breakfast, total of 299 calories. I had some coffee with some creamer in it, which is 35 calories, half a cup of blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, so a lot of fruit, which has hardly any calories in it, so you can eat a lot of fruit and barely get any calories, as well as some beef jerky, which is where most of my calories came from, as you can see, 140. Going for lunch, I had wild yellowfin tuna that came in a can from Costco, really good. Added some mustard and olive oil mayo to it just to give it some flavor, and some salt and pepper. Threw a bunch of cherry tomatoes in there for my lunch, and then as like a side snack I had a peach. All of the fruits and veggies that I ate today were all from the farmer's market, so they're all super good and super fresh. But as you can see, for lunch as well, only 331 calories, so you can eat a lot of food with very little calories, as long as you're choosing the kind of right foods that are going to help fill you up along the way. Dinner, I usually eat a little bit more calories, so this is I usually save a lot of my calories for dinner, but this is going to be brown rice, about a cup of that. I usually mix it with quinoa, a cup of ground beef, and then I had some organic bell peppers that I was dipping in some hummus, as well as a few pita chips into the hummus as well. And that's where most of my calories came from, as you can see. And then for snacks, I just had a few cashews before lunchtime, just to kind of tide me over, as well as get me some healthy fats from the nuts in there. As you can see over here at the bottom, still have 42 calories remaining. Like I said, I'm not really focusing on the macros as much, because a lot of people don't want to count macros as well. So I'm doing this super simple, just maintaining those calories, and you should be able to lose that weight from there. So this is kind of my healthy day of eating, and I'll weigh myself tomorrow so you guys see how that corresponds. And then I'll show you kind of what a not so healthy day of eating but still fits in the calories looks like. So you guys saw what I weighed yesterday and what I ate yesterday, so let's see what we are today. Okay. I will be showing you guys what I'm eating today, which will be a little bit less of ideal, but it's just to show you that you can eat these other things and still stay in a caloric deficit and still lose weight. Today is the day of eating where I just kind of ate whatever and purposely kind of ate things that weren't very good for me, just to show that it's the same process as far as you count your calories. As long as your calories are in the correct bracket, then you are good for the day regardless of what you're eating. So this morning I had half a Reign energy drink for a little bit of energy before my workout. I had half a cup of blueberries, so I kept the calories really low at breakfast and a little bit at lunch to make me be able to eat more for dinner. At lunch, it just says quick add, but it's some pasta that we made just with the ground beef, red pasta sauce, and noodles. And then for dinner, I'm going to go to Taco Bell and get a Crunchwrap Supreme and a cheesy bean and rice burrito, which comes out to 1,000 calories just in one meal. But because I have limited my calories elsewhere during the day, I'm still actually 7 calories available if I have something to eat for 7 calories. So I'll weigh myself tomorrow so you guys can see that there's not really going to be
any increase in weight, or I mean, there could be, it just goes up and down, but it's not going to be substantial just because I ate food that is considered, not good for me.
This is after yesterday, eating all that food that I showed you guys. Looks like we're going to be 163, which is right about where we were yesterday. So I wouldn't necessarily eat like that all the time, but it just shows you that you can eat like that, and it's not really going to affect you too much. So it's not the end of the world if you have one or few days like that, or you're going out to dinner or something, you're doing something where you're going to eat a lot more food. It's not going to derail you. You're just going to maybe stay the same, maybe go up a little bit, and then get right back on track.
Okay, everyone, so to wrap up the video, I ended at my 30 days at 158.8, started at 168, so lost between 9 and 10 pounds in that month, or that 30 days, which is great for me. I've never done really a cut before or counted my calories, just because I never really felt like it. But some key things that I learned along the way: if you eat a lot of fruits and veggies, you're never really going to be feeling that hunger, because one, you get a lot of nutrients, and then two, fruits and veggies are very low calories for how much food you're actually getting. So it just helps you kind of stay full. If you eat things that are higher in fat, like dairy products, cheese, butter, those things, just know, or like nuts, hummus, stuff that may sometimes not seem unhealthy. If you're trying to lose fat, they are a little bit higher in calories, so just be aware of that. I don't plan on counting calories forever. I did it for this 30 days. I have a better idea of how much I need to eat to stay at the weight that I currently am. I may count calories for another month or so just to get a little bit better at it. Kind of more eyeballing portion sizes and how much I think I need. So I may do that a little bit more. But then after that, I think I'll be able to kind of estimate and just kind of do that and keeping around the same weight. Like I said, I didn't really increase my cardio or anything, just kept going to the gym as normal. One thing I did though, if I had food that I wasn't sure on the portion size, or if I was eating something that I couldn't really count the calories for, I would typically try to overestimate it versus underestimate it. If you underestimate a lot of your food, at the end of the day, you're probably going to be over your calorie count. So my approach was just to underestimate versus overestimate. So then if I miscalculated, worst case scenario, I'm still at my calories for the day. Best case scenario, I'm a little bit under. So wasn't really hungry too much throughout the time, but with that being said, I do practice fasting pretty regularly for 24 hours on occasion. I've done up to 72 hours, so that could affect why I typically wasn't hungry during this, but I feel like as long as you eat high quality foods, fruits and veggies, a lot of them as snacks, I feel like you're gonna get a lot better results. Just go ahead and look at how much 15 cashews are compared to like a whole peach or a bunch of blueberries, something like that, and you can see the difference in how much you can eat of one versus how much you can eat of the other. So I have some pictures and everything along the way. I'm gonna show you guys a graph to show you guys kind of my progress and how that looks. But before I do that, I'll just make a video of kind of my whole physique and how it turned out with the same lighting that we started with, and we'll go from there.
It's a good idea to track your weight each day, not to necessarily show that you're losing weight each day, but so you have an adequate chart like I have here. That way you can see that the trend is slowly going down over time. So even when you have those days where your weight spikes up, you can still see that the trend is going more towards in a downward direction, which is what we want. You're going to have days where you increase weight, and that's not a bad thing. It's just going to happen. So this is a great way that you can track this. It's also good in case maybe you did overeat calories one day. You can see that why that spike increased, and then why maybe it decreased on other days.
Okay, so this is kind of my physique at 30 days. Overall, great experience counting calories. What I did learn is that I need to work on more strictly abdominal work, like crunches and things like that, more strength training. Typically I do stability work, planks, anti-rotation stuff, versus actual just like working on the muscles. Because I never really planned on being a lower body fat percentage just because I didn't really care. But now that I'm trying to lower my body fat a little bit, I do need to work on these muscles a little bit, just like any muscles, to help them grow as they grow, they'll just pop a little bit more, you know, grow in size just like any muscle will. So that's kind of the plan going forward. So that's the hope, at least. So we'll see how that goes. But I think this is probably the best way to lose weight if that's what you're trying to do, or do a cut. Just focus on calories in. Don't worry about calories out. So if you exercise or don't exercise, it's still the same calories each day. Goal body weight, at least an attainable goal body weight, times 12. That'll give you your calories for the day once you hit that goal. If you want to keep going, right, set a new goal body weight, recalibrate your calories, and keep on going. Obviously, the healthier you eat, I think the better, but there are days where I plan to go out with friends or eat something a little bit more probably unhealthy, right? So I just set my calories for the morning to be much, in the morning, afternoon, to be much smaller, so that I had an excess amount of calories for the evening, and then I could enjoy myself without being like, no, I can't eat that, or anything like that. If you guys have any questions about my cut and losing weight, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. If you like videos like this where I just kind of experiment and do different things, let me know what you guys want me to try next. And don't forget to like and subscribe.